I think a lot of people have a fear of the unknown and the unfamiliar. Don't base it on what people say because they may not know about the region as well as they should. Hi, I'm Yui. I've traveled to every country in the world. I am currently 41 years old, but I completed the goal at the age of 37. So this includes the UN, United Nations, 193 sovereign nations. The overarching aim of my travel was my interest in the world. It wasn't for any sort of achievement or goals. I have a deep sense of curiosity, and it's my belief that people interpret the world very differently. And even when two people visit the same place, they won't have the same kind of experience. So it's very important for me to experience things viscerally and to see it for myself. There were certain dishes in some countries. So, for example, I had fermented shark in Iceland, or crocodile meat in South Africa, roasted guinea pig in Peru, fermented mare's milk in Mongolia. So they weren't all delicious, I have to be honest, but I usually tried everything at least once. My personal favorite type of unusual landscape is hands down the desert. I'm completely enchanted by deserts. I love how otherworldly they look. The dunes that you can climb and the sands that seem to go on forever. So the deserts of North Africa, so places like Morocco, Egypt, Algeria, Libya, Mauritania, they're very beautiful and they make for some wonderful photos. Particularly the more challenging countries, most of the Middle East, pretty much all of Africa, the Caribbean and the South Pacific, I did on my own. And it wasn't always easy as a solo female, but it was very rewarding. And I would say my most vivid travel memories, actually, the ones that stand out in my mind, were from those solo travels. The countries that really stand out in my mind were the ones in which I was alone, but I managed to just communicate with the locals and make inroads with them. So places like Yemen, Libya, Afghanistan, a lot of the African countries. I would say it was the connections with the locals. So there's a photo of an older man. This is Ali. He's from Yemen. And he was the person that drove me and looked out for me while I was in the country. And the amazing thing was that we got along really well. Despite not speaking a common tongue, we were able to communicate quite well. And he's actually the reason why I know a little bit of Arabic now. But I think one of the reasons I really remember his face was because he was so kind, so respectful, and so respectable. And this was something that I really appreciated, especially as a solo traveler. One that stands out is an incident in Afghanistan. We were due to board a plane and we were already feeling quite nervous because there had been a bombing outside a mosque in another area of the city. And when the plane finally took off, this announcement came on the intercom and said that the plane was basically turning back. Literally, this is the first time in my life that this has ever happened through all my years of travel. And at this point, you're thinking, am I going to die? It's literally a moment of what's going to happen. And you don't know. The issue was someone had checked in for the flight and checked their luggage in, but they were not accounted for on board. So there was stuff that was unaccounted for, and obviously that's a big security issue because it could be something dangerous like a bomb. So we all had to be evacuated and they had to do like stringent checks. And I don't think I've ever been so afraid in my life. My best advice would be, don't base it on what people say because they may not know about the region as well as they should. I think a lot of people have a fear of the unknown and the unfamiliar. So it does help to do a bit of research and find out more about something rather than just fear it from the get-go. The first thing I would say is that it is entirely possible. I am living proof that it is. But you want to go accepting that there are risks and extra safety measures that are required because you're alone. So the best thing would be to really do your research, take measures to keep yourself safe. But I think it's something that's very empowering and really rewarding and worthwhile to do. So don't let fear control you, but examine what your circumstances are and take the leap.